Is Godsworn actually better than Stormgate? I was reading an article the other day reviewing some of the new early access RTS games, and that article recommended this game over Stormgate. Now, I know that Stormgate has gotten a lot of criticism lately, some of it deserved, some of it probably not. I know the expectations for that game were sky high, but there's also a lot of other awesome games coming out, and that gives me the perfect excuse to try out this game, compare it to Stormgate, and even, review it as a game itself. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Let's begin. All right, here we go. I'm going to be playing a game against the hard AI here. Now, first things first, the moment you enter this game, at least for me, I already got a bit of a Warcrafty vibe. And then when I started building the buildings, it gave me a bit of a Age of Mythology kind of vibe. Like the way you build your buildings next to the resources that are a little far away. For example, here's the food, here is the jewelry. Now, it's really important that you start... Let me actually get the upgrade for my hero. It's really important that you start doing the camps right away. This hero has an ability where if I kill I think any kind of enemy unit with my ability, it also spawns a circle around it that, will do damage to the rest in that circle. So that's quite important. Now, I noticed that finding the right resources in this game is really big. It's very tempting to just make the resources that are around your base right away. But I noticed that wood and wealth are extremely important. Now, one thing that you guys probably notice right away is just the level of visuals and maybe even the audio in general. It really feels like that has been a big complaint when it comes to Stormgate, and here I feel like it's already a lot more pleasing. Admittedly, some of the animations of the units are not quite there yet. I think for the heroes and stuff it's fine, but later into the game, some of the units still tend to be a little, I guess, ice skatey. That's the best way I can put it. Like, you guys know what I mean. If there's no like clean walking animation yet or something like that, the units kind of tend to glide a little bit. I've definitely noticed that. So it's not all there yet. Oh, before I forget, I want to say that apparently this game has been made by like 2 people, by the way, which is... that's just freaking absolutely mind-blowing. Like, that's crazy. Like, you have all these, big or somewhat big studios with even decent teams. Even some of the smaller RTSs, I think, will have teams of like 30 people, and this was made by like 2. And it was also made in Unity, which I think is extremely rare for an RTS game, so that is really just extremely cool. Now, let me make sure I saturate my wealth with a second worker. I'm not quite sure yet how to do the macro properly and stuff. I just know that wood and especially wealth... well, wood is not scarce, you just need a lot of it, but wealth is extremely scarce, so you want to get as much of it as you can. But I also noticed playing is the hardest level of AI that they always have way more stuff than me, so if you're going to play this, I don't think copying my builds is going to be the best idea, but I think I have a somewhat decent idea of what to do. Now, the resources are in the top right. As you can see, there is faith as well. That's used for abilities. And I also think for upgrades and even for some units, I think. I don't think it's just for spells and upgrades. I also think it's for certain units, but I could be wrong on that. Sometimes I still confuse the icons of wealth and faith. But I'm pretty sure it's used for all that, so it's quite important. You get faith by keeping your workers at the shrine, so they worship, they pray, and they generate faith that way. But from what I've seen so far, I think it's a better idea to actually use your workers to gain the resources. You can get faith later in a different way. I think this hero that I'm playing with right now has an upgraded level 4 that gets faith when killing units, which gets you way more faith than I think praying even would. Let's see if I was correct. I think it's this one. You get faith equal to half the target's XP, exactly. So especially if you kill an enemy hero, you get a lot from that. So I think you don't want to keep too many workers at the shrine. I actually think you want to go ahead and get the resources as fast as you can. I should probably get this one right away. I don't have an active or an available worshipper right now, so I'm not going to get it yet. I do have to say, I'm not an expert on games with camps. I guess mostly Warcraft 3 is what I'm thinking about. I've been thinking about getting into it a little bit more, but I still haven't yet. But the camps do somehow feel a little weak. I kind of would think that you need either a couple more units or a couple more micro. Like, obviously here, my creep or my camp clearing isn't the best. Ideally, I get them all in the circle every single time, and that way I deal with it fast. But it is still relatively easy to clear the camps. It is, if you're watching me do it right now, I'm just gonna advise you, if you guys are gonna play this, that it's slightly harder than it looks like, because if you don't micro at all, you take a little bit too much damage and then you struggle clearing the other camps. So it is a little more difficult than it looks like right now, but it still feels like it's perhaps a little bit too easy. I feel like it's, yeah, maybe it's a little bit too easy to clear the camps. Now, obviously, you also don't want to make it too hard, because then you're going to be stuck in your base for a while. I think this is the easier target, so I should probably try to kill that. Can I kill it already? Wait, did I just miss, or did I target the wrong one? If I missed, then I didn't even know that could happen. So that would be very fascinating. If I targeted the wrong one, then my bad. Now, I do want to give big credits, first of all. Or not first of all, I've already said a lot. But I want to give credits, importantly, to the smart build menu here. I feel like the smart build menu is the best one out of all the games that I've actually seen use smart build menus. Because most of the time, in Stormgate, for example, I don't really feel... Wait, where did I put my rally? Oh, there it is. Okay. I don't really feel like using it, because it's like 5 tabs, and you have like the unit tab and the building tab and the advanced building tab, the upgrade tab, the advanced upgrade tab, stuff like that. You know, here I feel like there's just one smart build menu, and it just has the things that I want on there. I'm still perfectly fine, and I even enjoy doing that, to have a nice hotkey setup for my building, so I can, you know, hotkey my barracks and my factories and stuff like that. I think that is perfectly fine and cool, but it just has all the buildings that I want on there, so the macro is a little bit easier to do. And the thing is, I actually like macroing, but there are more fun and more boring ways to the macro. And especially here, because the resources are so all over the map, I would say it is quite nice that you can build them a little easier. Whenever you kill a camp, you get a... Oh, I can hear sound, so I imagine he's killing this one, which is actually an important camp, because that is a wealth mine. But you get a worshipper when you kill most camps. Not all of them, but most of them. Let me try to kill it at the right time. There we go. So you can, you get a worshipper here, and you can use it immediately to build something. Now, what I'm going to do is I haven't tried this before. I'm going to try to build a watchtower over here. I kind of wonder if I can defend this area as well as the gold place over there. Let me take a quick look at the resources. My resources are looking fine. I think I could probably add another war camp here. Now, I did notice one flaw in this game that... Let me build a tower over here before I continue, because these places are usually a bit vulnerable. Oh, we're being attacked. Well, I don't think that army is that big. People can't really have armies this fast, so I'll get back to the flaw later. I usually forget what I'm talking about when I switch topics, so I'll try to keep that in mind. But defending in the shrine is relatively comfortable, because it shoots a little bit and it regens a little bit. So this should be fine. I do notice that the AI tends to make workers a little bit faster than I do, so maybe I prioritize the economy a little too much still. Not 100% sure about that, but we'll see. Let's see, what do I need to fix here? I think, oh, I need to get food in here. And I think besides that, it looks fine. I'll get 2 on those berries, actually. This one seems to be building, because there's a 1 over here, but I don't see a worker. I'll check back there in a second. I do actually need this, because I'm about to be supply blocked, or house capped, dwelling capped, whatever the hell you want to call that, you know. But the flaw I wanted to talk about that I saw in Tempest Rising 2 is that right now I have 2 buildings hotkeyed. Well, this one isn't finished yet, so you're not going to be able to see that for now. But if I make units, they don't build from both of them. So if you make 2 units, instead of making 1 in each, it just builds both of them from 1. So you have to tap through. Now, in this game, admittedly, I don't think it's as important to make multiple of the same production facility. I think right now I have 2, but at least I could be completely wrong on this, by the way. But I think it makes more sense to have... I keep forgetting you need to pick that up with the hero only. It makes sense to have like a 1-1-1 instead of like 3 barracks, for example. But even then, I really wish that you could, you know, just make a bunch of units and they spread among the production evenly. That would make more sense to me. It looks like we're getting attacked again. I think I have a pretty good control of the most important resources here, which is definitely going to help us out here. Now, in the healing of this shrine, I don't think my opponent's going to be doing too much damage here. I'm trying to look at my... Wait, is there one... I feel like there's one wealth that I'm missing, perhaps. Oh, I guess it was just this guy, right? Oh, I think I realized what happened. Oh, okay, yeah. So I had 2 guys over here, but I made the tower, And as soon as I finished that tower, I think because I was forcing these buildings to be finished so much, I pulled it back on accident. So that is definitely my bad there. But as I want to say about that problem, at least in this game, you can tap through the production facilities easily. When I was playing Tempest Rising, I literally had to click with the mouse on a very tiny little 1 and 2. So it's still better than that macro was. But yeah, I still wish that would be changed there, because it would be way more comfortable to just be able to build stuff at once. Now, I managed to make a lot of units here, and in particular a lot of Marauders, which are very gold heavy, or wealth heavy, I should say. So the macro here is looking a bit better than it usually is on my side, so that is nice. I did notice one thing, by the way, which is unintentional. I think you guys might have seen it just now. I think you can kind of cheat if you want to, because I noticed I couldn't build this over here before I saw this building. So I wonder if is there another ore mine? Like you can check. Like, I should be able to build this, right? So the fact that I can't means that... Oh, I'm being attacked. I should probably pay attention to that. I mean, I killed this hero already, so it's fine. That means that there is a mine over there. Similarly, I could check exactly. This means that there is a Hunter's Lodge over there, I believe. I could be wrong, but I think, for example, if I would build something over here, then you actually can. I'm not quite sure why I cannot build it over there. It could be a vision thing, but I believe I noticed before that it was that way. Now, I haven't chosen my abilities yet because I wanted to show you guys something. You get an ability point for every level, but you can also save your level 3 to get both of the level 4 abilities at once, and those are a little better, so that's why I did that. It's another little, little small trick that you can do, which I think is pretty cool. One thing I want to give them props for on the camps, by the way, is that in this game, the camps seem to promote the level of activity that I like. So in a lot of the other games, I kind of noticed that the early game camps, they force both opponents to do incredibly cheesy stuff. Like basically the equivalent of going for a 12 pool and just... It creates really annoying early game dynamics, where here the camps seem a little bit more chill. Now, this thing is actually attacking, by the way. It's just because it's shooting arrows and this thing is so close you can't really see it, but those things do attack. But in this game so far, the camps seem pretty nice because they, like I said, they do give the amount of activity that I would like to see. Now, I'm going to take this one because that is an incredibly cool ability. I think I should be able... Can I do this? I think I can do it anywhere I have vision, yeah. So I can basically do... yeah, I mean, you guys could see what it was like. Like, it's a really fast teleport, and that way we were able to catch a couple more units. Now, I haven't quite figured out yet how I want to split my army, because resource camps like this are very, very important, right? I think maybe I should try to get this ore camp. Or jeweler, whatever. Yeah, well, this is called an ore camp, and this is the jeweler, I think it is. Well, for his faction, it's a smelter, so I guess that is slightly different. Now, I would like to go up in tier a little bit to make some higher tech units. I think that would be nice. I'm going to try to build that over there, and then I'll build a watchtower next to it. Looks like I need to get another supply as well. One more mechanic in this game that you need to pay attention to is that there is a maximum of 32 workers. I'm not quite sure if that would be different if you're playing like 2v2 or a different mode or something, but I've noticed that it says maximum is 32 here. So you kind of need to balance how many workers you have at the shrine praying. That way you... I'm not quite sure if I even mentioned it before, but that way you generate faith, which allows you to cast spells. In this case, you can tell I already have a lot, and that's because my hero has this ability which gives me faith when I kill enemy units. So for this hero in particular, at least if you choose that ability or choose that spell, I'm not quite sure what it's called actually. What would I call that? Benefit or... talent? I guess talent is the most realistic thing to call that. Then I might not need any workers at this shrine at all, which gives me a bigger economy. Like, there's a bunch of things like that to consider. Now, maybe I could probably go for this thing again. Wait, it's actually global. As long as I... Look at that. Oh my... Okay, that ability is pretty crazy, though. As long as I have vision, I can do that anywhere, which is pretty freaking insane. Now, I haven't even used my other ability yet very well. It does seem like this game needs a little bit more of the Warcraft 3 style micro. Wait, did I thought I saw something attacked here, but I guess I was wrong. Where you kind of pluck a couple units and go for a surround on the other side. Like, the surrounding is not as automatic as it would be in StarCraft 2, for example. Oh, I didn't actually see this attack coming. That's well done by my opponent there. And I think that is not necessarily a bad thing. I know some people really like the super fluid movement where everything is automatic, and some people probably prefer the old school Warcraft 3 style where you actually have... I mean, these guys are very slow, so surrounding with these is very hard, right? With the werewolves here, it's going to be a little bit better. But some people prefer that kind of micro. Now, let's see. This unit actually cost a lot of faith. Do other units cost faith? No, this one doesn't. Wait, was it faith? Yeah, this one costs wealth and faith. So this is actually a very expensive unit over here, the Pukis. I'm gonna make that one because that one gets loot from dead enemy units. So it actually collects wealth from those, I believe. It's like a greedy dragon kind of thing. Now, if I kill this, you know what I'm gonna do? I've never done this before. I'm gonna try to collect a bunch of workers. I mean, I definitely have the advantage over here. My hero is gonna be able to do a lot of damage in there as well. Then I'm gonna start using my other ability to transform some of my low health ones into walls. I haven't done that enough, admittedly. Not the best job by me so far. Now, most of the time, the AIs have defensive towers. Where are the workers that I sent? Are they ever arriving? I don't quite see them on the minimap, so I'm not 100% sure why I sent those, unless they're really fast. Wait! Oh, I have a way cooler idea, actually. Okay, the idea that... Oh, I guess the workers are here now. The idea that I had was that I could maybe use the global transport. I keep a couple units over here to transport workers immediately. What I want to do is I want to grab the wealth over here and... Oh, I also have these extra tech structures that I can build. I can probably build those too if I need them. It's kind of hard to finish off shrines and towers and stuff with the lower tech units, that's why. So I was thinking I could make a jeweler over here, and then I could use these. Oh, okay, never mind. Wait, this is... I think my selection is stuck there. Or is it going to build it after? I'm not quite sure about this. This could, okay, this might be a bug that we found over here. I didn't encounter this before, so that's always nice to see. Well, it's not ideal that there's a bug, but it's good to find it out so we know that for the future to not spam the towers too hard. But it seems like you cannot build the towers that close to each other, so that is something that we'll keep in mind for the future. Looks like we have a pretty nice surround there on his hero units. I'm also going to get a couple more of these dragons. I could be trying to sneak some of his camps on the left side. I'm still not quite sure what the best way is to go about controlling the map. Like, do you want to go through the middle? Or do... Oh, wait, I can probably do this again. Okay, this ability... Well, I didn't think I... No, exactly. I didn't bring any units with this because my units were too far away. It's a pretty small area, so that's a little bit of an amateur mistake by me, but it's also kind of funny, to be honest. So I'm not really going to be upset about that. I guess I'll just choose these units in the meantime to deny some camps. But yeah, what I wanted to say is that it might be better to just deny the resources on the outside rather than going too deep through the middle. I think that makes a lot of sense. Now, my ability is... Oh, it's actually not off cooldown yet, but I can get that one. That's going to create the circle and do a lot of damage here. And this hero is actually even better than I thought. I'm not going to lie. I didn't realize that that transport skill was so freaking good, but it seems insanely good at both splitting your army and defending attacks that you didn't see coming because you suck, in my case. Now, this is the letter J. I'm going to build one of those, and I'm going to make an Alka as well, see what units I can build from that. Well, one of these I know can make a very tanky unit called the Leshy, I believe. Let's look at the resources. Resources still look pretty balanced. Wealth is actually my biggest wealth income I've had so far, which is really nice there. Guess I'll create a circle over there. But I think the Leshies, the tanky guys, are what I'm going to want to break his shrine later on. We obviously have an advantage because we took so many good fights already. Excuse me, level 7, which is going to allow me some kind of ultimate ability. I think we're going to take this one. That one is the Bloodlust ability, which I'm not quite sure what game that's from. It's, I guess, either from Warcraft 3 or World of Warcraft or something. I don't know. Sorry, I probably offended some people there. I know I saw it in Heroes of the Storm when I was playing. I played a decent amount of Heroes of the Storm. I guess it's Thrall that has it, which I believe is from Warcraft 3. Once again, don't want to offend anyone here by being completely off with my lore. But you guys should know what Bloodlust means. It basically just buffs all your units, makes them do more damage and stuff, I believe. So now, there's not actually that much going on here on the left side. It is crazy to me how I keep being surprised by being attacked anywhere. I think it's because if you look at the minimap, it kind of looks like I have vision. I'm not quite sure if this is me. This could also be something to do with the game, but if I look at the minimap, it feels like I have vision in this area, but there's a lot of fog of war still. So I guess it could be the case that the fog of war is not as distinguishable from the areas where you actually see as they should be. Now let's see, where's my other resource facilities? This one makes the Raider and the Wolf Warrior, and this one makes the Leshy. I guess I'm gonna upgrade that thing for the Leshy first, which kind of gives it like... I think it's like a burning effect around it, like it kind of intoxicates the unit around it. But I guess the thing that I can do to fix my problem with the vision on the map is just to make more towers. I'm going to take one over here. You can't build the resources too close, by the way, if you guys didn't notice before. I'm actually running out of wood a little bit. I can build it over there. Build another one over here. Oh, you do require vision to that. I didn't actually realize that. Let me try to get in here. Used my Q a little bit too early, so I'm not going to get the splash on that. My opponent is kind of... Oh, that is a very scary thing. That is a catapult. Let me split my units. I don't want to... Okay, it dies very fast, luckily. That looked very scary. I don't think I've built one of those before myself, so that kind of terrified me a little bit there. For that, I'm definitely going to need some higher tech units. But I think building some towers in important areas like this is going to be the best way for me to deal with just not having vision. I guess I just need to do a better job of that in general. If you really look closely at the mid... Wait, they can... Oh, they can... I thought they could walk over this. I guess they can only walk over there. I'm not quite sure why I thought that. It doesn't even look like they can. I guess my brain just kind of tripped a little bit there. Now, let's see. What can I do for my resources? It looks pretty good. I think I can probably make some more wood deeper into his territory. Let's see. I have a couple units. Oh, here's the big tanky guy that I was talking about. These are the wolf. They don't look very wolfy to me. Do they look wolfy? I guess they look like they're wearing a wolf more than anything else. Well, let me split those. I'm not quite sure how strong they are, but they look like they could one-shot a million of my units at once if I'm not paying attention. I think my hero ability, the dash, should be really good against those. Definitely don't think I want to be chasing them. Tried to walk over the water again. That's my bad. A celestial hull. That costs 750 wood. I think I've tried to make that building before, and I figured out that the unit that you need to build from there is extremely expensive. So I don't think I want to go into that yet. Now, I should probably follow my AI opponent's advice a little bit and just start attacking in different areas. So I'm going to send my tanky units to go to the left side. I feel like this place is actually what's giving us the biggest... Let me see if I was right, by the way. Oh, I don't have money to make a tower. I wanted to see where I could build it, but I guess I can't build it yet. But attacking in multiple places at once just seems like the right way to go about it. These units are going to be really strong. We're going to be able to win that. These towers are actually incredibly good, but they do die fast if you get on top of them. So if you can ever catch your opponent being a bit out of position where you can target the towers directly, that's going to be very pleasant. Now, my opponent is attacking me over there, which probably doesn't seem like the right move to me because his entire base is in fire. I think I maybe could even go for it. Yeah, I'm going to use this ability. Oh, that looks actually pretty freaking cool. My unit... Oh, that's... Okay, that's really strong. Shrine... Oh, holy crap. Okay. Let me tell you guys, shrines don't normally die that fast, so that was incredibly impressive. Okay, I think I plus 10 strength and plus 10 power, and they gain 100 health if you kill anything. And if a unit falls, a shadow up here. Okay, this was so much stronger than I thought it was going to be. So apparently these ultimate abilities are very nice. But that's going to be it for my playthrough. Or not, it's not really a playthrough, but just one game of Godsworn here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I guess my conclusion is that it's kind of hard to compare it to Stormgate, but in some areas it's... I feel like clearly better, and in some areas it might be a little worse based on preference. Like, I think if you like the StarCraft style, very fast paced with really smooth unit movement, like where every unit just moves very well, then Stormgate is going to be a little cooler than this one just because it's just a little bit faster. I think this game for me personally has been significantly less frustrating because there's not... If you look at the speed of the units, they could probably change this where... Some of these units feel a little too slow and maybe have the same speed. There are units that are faster, which is really good. I think that's a criticism I had of Immortal Gates of Pyre, where the units all had the same speed at some point, so you just had one big blob. But the units are not very fast, and I think that's nice for the early game. In a lot of these other games, let's say you try to take a camp. For example, in Stormgate, there's the Celestials and I believe Infernals as well. Celestials have vectors, Infernals is something else, I don't remember what it is, but they have just super fast, annoying units that are in your face. Like, they're basically just 12 pooling and attacking you from the start of the game, and it's incredibly frustrating. Here, you are promoted to be active in the early game with the camps, but it's not frustrating or very anxiety-inducing like a lot of these other games. I would say visually this game looks better. Sound quality-wise, the game also looks better. The audio is also slightly imbalanced here, but definitely not as bad as Stormgate. The voice acting here is not the best I've ever heard, but it's pretty decent. I think when it comes to the units in Stormgate might be a bit more interesting. Like here, a lot of the units have passive abilities, which is cool, but I feel like unless you're paying really close attention, you might not notice. Like, did you guys notice that these guys are actually melee units and I upgraded them to be ranged? And then I upgraded him to have a stun attack. Like, I feel like it could have been a bit more obvious. Like, the units could maybe be, I don't know, maybe they are Billion style where they upgrade the colors when they're upgraded or something like that. That could be cool. All in all, I think this is a really awesome game to play. This game is still early access, and once again, it's only made by 2 people, which is incredibly freaking impressive, but I'm definitely looking forward to what else they can make. For now, I would say that if you're really looking forward to a game that's as close to StarCraft 2 as possible, then Stormgate is going to be a better choice. If you're not, if you're looking for another genre, if you're maybe a little more into Warcraft 3 or Age of Empires, Age of Mythology, this game could be a little cooler. But of course, you guys have already formed your own opinion at this point. Let me know what you thought in the comments. I'm actually genuinely curious. If you like this video, make sure to give it a subscription. No. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all for the next video. Adios.